Okay, we're going to be showing you various different stages of how we're making this cabinet door. There's going to be two of them, one that's this way and one that's just the opposite. And so there's a few little tricks that we'll show you along the way. And so I'm glad you're with us and I hope you enjoy this. So you don't have to grind much. You're just knocking off the rough edges, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks good. Yep. Are the lines going the right way?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All righty. So I need my marker. And this is pretty easy to mark because it just, let's see, I've got my square goes to there. So this is the line I want to draw to. What? These are all gonna fit in across. They're all three inches wide, I think.
So you put that line on top so you know which is up, huh?
Well, it's really easy to get confused. Piece again, but now I'm going to take a couple of these. I line up this line here with the edge of the glass because I want it to be square with the table.
Line.
Just going to darken my line up a little bit so I can see it better.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so now this one is a little short piece, and so I've wasted one because I didn't cut off that end. So in order to get that end off, I just have to slide it over some. I'll just slide. Hi there. Now, this one is a very important tool that you may recognize. It's a horseshoe nail. And I'll be using it today on these pieces. Now, we've got them all done. They're all foiled and ready to be soldered. But what we want to do is come along here with our trusty nail. And you see how this piece is tight here and there's a little bit of space here? Well, what I want to do is make that just a little bit looser. There we go. Now it's got about the same space from right here and here. And that's not terribly important, but let's see, I gotta get this past this piece. There we go. Okay. That one's going to have to shift like that. So the first thing, you want to keep this in mind. You're trying to put some flux on each of the corners that you're going to tack. But you want to just kind of, what I like to do is just kind of bounce my flux brush on that corner so that I want to, so all I did was put flux on there, but I didn't move the glass. Now if you're rough or you're not careful, you can move the glass, and then you have to go back and reposition everything all over again. But now I've got pretty good coverage here, and I'll go back and get these border pieces. As I do this, I try to get my soldering down as good as possible so that I don't have to come back and solder over a second time. I mean, on this, of course, I'm going to have to come and attach everything. All right, let's see how we can do that. Okay. Okay. So, you know, I'm going to go and do these 2 rows, and then I'll come back and do these others. Is solder on these top ones because they're most likely to slide. Did you see how that one slid on me when I touched that? Push it back in place. Okay. I'm gonna get this over here. Thank you. Okay, let's see if we can keep everything steady. Okay, look here, Jeannie's soldering. What do you want to say, Jeannie?
Just do the best you can.
Words of wisdom. Let's see, didn't you used to have a, we did a segment, I did Tech Tip Thursdays and you did Wisdom Wednesdays.
Yes.
Remember that? Okay, now we've got our board set up and we're going to slide this window over onto the board and then onto that table, because when it's in the tacked position, it's pretty weak. But what I think I'll do, Jeannie, I think what we'll do is we'll grab this board and flip it over, because this edge is kind of, well, it's not as pretty, but look, this edge doesn't have all that raggedy stuff on it. And so I believe it'll be easier to slide over and won't get junk on the window. So now here is what I'm worried about. So we want to kind of pick it up farther. We've already taken the nails out of this side, and so there we go onto the sheetrock. And now we can slide it onto the table. Now we can solder it.
Now you can go all the way around.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of towels laid out here, and they're just to keep from having to lay my arms down into the flux as we solder along. And Jeannie and I are both doing this window at the same time. And look at this, we've only got this little tiny bit left to do on this side of the window, and then we'll flip it over. But also, putting a towel down will protect the weight of your arm from cracking a piece of glass occasionally. Doesn't happen very often, but the main reason is to keep the flux off you, you know, off your clothing, off of your arms. Okay, we're cutting the second window, and we've already cut all the outside edges of the border except for the ones on top. Now these are the ones that are kind of tricky because they're curved, and so they have to be drawn from the pattern pieces themselves. And on this window, we're turning everything upside down because it's going to be the opposite side of the cabinet door. And so in order to do that, we take our pattern pieces Now this is, remember, the back side of the window, and the front side of the window is up underneath. So if we trace this out just as with the pattern pieces up, remember our pattern pieces were upside down before when we were doing corded. Now we're doing them right side up, which will make the finished piece be upside down. That's pretty confusing, I think. So anyhow, come on. Does this say 18 or 16? Is this
18.
But this is 15, this is 16.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay, so this one now. Right there. And so I guess the easiest thing here for me okay, I set this on my all right. All right, well, here we are. They're done, and now we'll just lift this up and show you how they look.
So this is going to go into a bathroom cabinet. So these doors will be next to each other just like this. And I think that will be beautiful.
I think we're going to fire up the iron to do a little bit of fixing. Let's see, I think I saw, here's a copper piece here. And over there, there's a little goober on the side. Don't they look good? These took us 3 weeks to do, but normally I think this would, if we worked steadily on them, it'd only take a week, but we've had just so many other projects in the works as well, so. there
And
you go.
I am grateful that David came out and helped me solder. So the only thing we noticed is that we need to match the patina a little better.
See right here, there's that copper that I was talking about.
Yeah.
See that one little spot?
One little spot. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thanks for being with us. See you next time.